In this video, I will demonstrate how to use the Align panel in Adobe Illustrator, and at the end I'll show you how I made this horseshoe shape. So first, select a group of objects, then locate your Align panel. It might be in the control bar at the top, or it might be in the Properties panel to the right. But my favorite way is to go up to Window, and then click Align, and bring up the panel on its own. Here are all the options for alignment, and we'll take a look at the Align To option by clicking and expanding, and you'll see the options to align these objects to your selection, to a key object, or to the artboard itself, and we'll go ahead and start with aligning to the artboard. The first icon in our Align panel is the horizontal Align Left icon, and when you click on that, it moves all of the objects over to the left-hand side and stacks them on top of each other. I will go ahead and undo back to our starting point, which you will see me do throughout this video. Our next option is to do a horizontal alignment to the center, and then the third one is the horizontal alignment to the right. The next three icons are our vertical options, and vertical align top is going to place all the objects side by side at the top of your artboard. Here's vertical align center. And the last one in this row is vertical align bottom. Horizontal and vertical seem flipped in my mind, but remember it's about the alignment to the artboard, not the alignment of the objects themselves. So horizontal is the placement of the objects left to right on the x-axis, and vertical moves the objects up and down on the y-axis. Now let's say you want to move the objects exactly in the middle of the artboard where the x and y would meet. So you choose horizontal align center, and now they're centered on the x-axis, but still a little high on the y-axis, so you click vertical align center. But notice that moves all four objects to the middle. If you want to keep them from stacking, right-click and group them first, then click vertical align center. Now they're centered on the y-axis as well. Next, we'll the objects are evenly spaced along the x-axis. Now I'll show you how to align to a key object. You can click the drop-down and select Key Object, and the object is going to have a thicker blue outline added to it. You can also select a key object by clicking on an object twice. So click all of the objects you would like to align, and then click a second time to designate a key object like this pink horseshoe. Again. And notice the different spacing between the tops and bottoms of my horseshoes. You can click on Vertically Distribute Center and then adjust the spacing by increasing this spacing value number here and then choosing Distribute Center again. And now all the spacing is evenly placed. And you can do that same step with Vertical Align Center. And once again, horizontal distribute space, and change the spacing number. One last thing with distributing space, select all your objects and choose another key object, and then change this number to 0. And then here I'll click horizontal distribute space, and it will place all of the horseshoes perfectly next to one another with no spacing in between. Back in my design, I'll first create a new layer for just my horseshoes and I will lock the other 2 layers. Then I'll select just the top 2 horseshoes, and I'll choose vertical align top and horizontal distribute center. And then I'll do the same for the bottom 2, clicking vertical align bottom and horizontal distribute center. And now they are perfectly placed on all 4 corners of my artboard. Finally, I'll click File, Save As, and save this file to my Creative Cloud in a folder I have for the class, naming it my first name, last initial, underscore, unit 2.5 align panel. Click Save, and then click OK. So that is how you use the Align panel to distribute objects in Adobe Illustrator. And stay tuned if you're interested in seeing how to create this horseshoe. First, I use the ellipse tool, holding Shift to create a circle. Then I use the direct selection tool, clicking on the top anchor point twice and dragging it up to form an egg-like shape. Then make a copy of this shape. It can be easier to see the difference if you change the color of one of the shapes. Grab the corner of the bounding box to make one of the shapes smaller and place it on top of the bigger shape. Adjust the smaller one to get the overall look of a horseshoe, looking at the bottom and sides of the lighter brown shape, and you can ignore the top of these shapes for now. Next, select both shapes, and then click a second time on the outer egg, or in the Align panel, choose Align to Key Object. Make the outer egg the key object. Click horizontal to add details to the horseshoe. Use different values of color and overlap them to create a sense of depth in your details. One more thing you can do is to select an object and then go to Edit, Edit Colors, and Recolor Artwork. And here you'll find a panel with harmony rules that you can use to change the color palette for your object, therefore making your symbol different with each different color combination that you choose. Super fun. So that's how you make a horseshoe shape in Adobe Illustrator.